A large portion of the Jewish nation has returned to its homeland, but the heart, soul, and mind of much of the Jewish nation are still in exile mode. This state of affairs must and will inevitably change. This is Torah Nation TV from Jerusalem, and we are speaking with the head of Machon Shilo, Rabbi David Bar-Hayim. Shalom, Rabbi Bar-Hayim.
Shalom.
Recently, one of the leaders of the Lithuanian yeshiva world, HaRav Aaron Leib Shteinman, was physically attacked in his home by an Avrech in his 20s from Kiryat Sefer in Israel, an exclusively Haredi town. Does the Rav have any comments on this incident?
The first point I'd like to make is that this was a dastardly, cowardly, and reprehensible action. Something which should be condemned by all people, certainly by all lovers of Torah. And this has nothing to do with the question of whether one agrees with all the views and opinions of HaRav Shteinman or not. Beyond that, I would say that not just this attack, but the divisions, the very, very vocal and, in fact, one could even say vicious argumentation and fractiousness and divisions within the Haredi world, particularly here in Israel, in recent months and years, and apparently this will only get worse over time, is clear proof of the fact that something which is untrue, something which is not based on truth, will eventually crumble.
To which falsehood is the Rav referring?
I refer to the fact that about 100 years ago, perhaps a little less, in what was then not yet known, in fact, as the Haredi world, but that form of Judaism and that world outlook represented by Agudat Yisrael began to coin the term Das Torah. The clear intention of the people behind this slogan and behind this campaign was to claim, to underscore the fact that in their view at least there is only one legitimate point of view, one true, authentic Torah outlook on the major issues facing the Jewish people, and that any other view is illegitimate and not to be taken seriously. And as the Talmud tells us in Masechet Shabbat, Shikra la ka'eh. In other words, that which is untrue, that which is false, sheker, will not stand. In other words, will not stand forever. As the Talmud points out, the three letters that make up the word sheker, shin, kof, and resh, in Hebrew script, are all standing, all balanced, as it were, on one point, as opposed to certain other letters in the alphabet which have two legs or two bases, as it were, so they're more stable. Something which is balanced, which rests on one sharp point, often, eventually, will fall, will tilt and fall. The same is true, says the Talmud, of that which is untrue, and this is exactly what happens here. For many, many years, some forces, some factions within the Jewish world have been trying to tell us and convince us, I would say even bamboozle us, that there is Das Torah, only one Das Torah, and this Das Torah is, of course, their Das Torah, their view and their opinion, their take on things. I'm reminded of a conversation that I had many, many years ago with a distant cousin of mine, Haredi cousin in Bnei Brak, and we were discussing different points of view and different rabbis, and I mentioned a certain Rav, and I said he's a very great Talmid Chachamim, a great Torah sage, and he admitted that this was so, but he immediately added, but he hasn't got Das Torah. And I asked him, how does he know? What does he base this claim? And without really being able to explain himself, it was obvious that his understanding was that if a Rav, even if he was recognized and known to be very learned, did not agree with the general hashkafa, the general outlook with which he was indoctrinated, then obviously this person has not got das Torah. In other words, this person does not have a true Torah outlook and perspective on things. This kind of attitude can only lead eventually to fractiousness, infighting, and eventually to sinat hinam. This is precisely what we see in this case. Because the truth of the matter is, of course, that there is no such thing as one das Torah. There are many das Torahs. There are different opinions and different views. There always have been and there always will be. And the sooner that all serious people learn to accept this and live with such a reality and digest this reality for what it is, for the fact that it is, the sooner true peace and understanding and perhaps true discussion and debate between the different groups in the Jewish world, the different points of view, the sooner these things will come about. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Bar-Hayim. We would like to suggest the following opportunity to our viewers. If you identify with Rabbi Bar-Hayim's message and would like to sponsor or dedicate a video interview with the Rabbi in honor or memory of a loved one, if you would like to obtain Nusach Eretz Yisrael or invite the Rabbi for a speaking engagement, please email us at office@machonshilo.org.